Now, let's explore how to develop effective performance tasks. Performance tasks are the heart of competence-based assessment. Assessment tasks or items used as evidence to demonstrate that students have achieved learning outcomes. They require students to actively demonstrate their competencies, not just answer questions about them. Traditional tasks can measure knowledge efficiently, but don't show what students can do with that knowledge. Performance tasks reveal competence in action. They prepare students for professional practice while assessing their capabilities. Let's see how to design them effectively. As I said before, assessment tasks or items used as evidence to demonstrate that students have achieved learning outcomes. These are by not traditional tests, not authentic demonstrate of competencies. Four key characteristics. One, authentic context. Task situated in real world context that student will encounter in professional or civic life, not hypothetical scenario, but realistic situations. Students will see why the task matter beyond get a grade. Example, instead of explain research method, have students design a study to investigate a real problem in your communities. Second, integrated thinking skills. Task requiring synthesis and application of multiple competencies, knowledge area, and skills simultaneously. Real professional work does not isolate single skills. Students must integrate what they have learned across topics and abilities. And third, variable experience. Task providing meaningful learning experiences that contribute to student personal and professional development. The task itself is worth doing, not just worth assessing. Students gain something valuable beyond demonstrate competency. And fourth, ill structured problems. Problems with multiple solution paths, incomplete information, or no single correct answer, reflecting real-world complexity. Unlike textbook problems with predetermined solutions, students must make a judgment, handle ambiguity, and defend choices. The GRASPS framework help design authentic, well-structured performance task. G is goal. What is the ultimate goal of this task? What should a student accomplish by completing this work? The goal should be meaningful and clear. And role, R is role. What authentic role in students take on? What professional or civic identify do they assume? A is audience. Who is the intended audience for this work? Who will receive or use what students produce? S is situation. What is the concrete scenario in which this performance is needed? P is performance. What is the end product of student work? S is standard. What are the criteria for judgment successful performance? What makes work excellent versus adequate versus insufficient? Beyond GRASPS, two additional elements. Assessment components. What specific criteria will be used to assess student performance? Break down the standard into measurable dimensions. Other evidence. What other evidence beyond the performance task will demonstrate that students achieved the desired understanding. This might include quiz, test, observations, assignments, writing, etc. Performance tests are primary evidence, but supporting evidence strengthens assessment. Using GRASPS effectively, answer each element explicitly when designing a task. Share the GRASPS description with students so expectations are transparent. The framework ensures tasks are authentic, clear, and accessible. It transforms a vague assignment into well-designed performance assessment. Let me show you a detailed example from nursing education. A performance task explaining a radiological result to a premenio patient. 네. This task description, you can see that contains task purpose, multiple assessment dimensions. First, assess medical knowledge and explanation ability. Second, evaluate clinical communication competency. Third, evaluate ethical awareness and sensitivity. Fourth, assess critical thinking and clinical listening. Fifth, evaluate counseling skills and empathy. Sixth, evaluate feedback and communication skills. Assessment of learning outcomes should be based on clear standards known to students in advance. Establishment of clear standards for performance evaluation. Evaluation of both understanding of medical information and communication competence. Evaluation of actual clinical performance through role-play scenario. Evaluation of progress at each age. Um, it uh, this result is about using generative AI program. This chatting box is prompt for AI, and the answer is that we can use generative AI, for making performance task easily and effectively. I recommend you can use generative AI, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, etc. Now let's examine how to redesign courses around performance task and feedback. This is a fundamental shift in instructional design. Traditional course design has the following characteristics. Teachers plan content to cover. They design lectures and activities. At the end, they create tests. Assessment comes last, almost as an afterthought. Performance task-driven design has the following characteristics. Start with the end in mind. What competencies must the student demonstrate? Design authentic performance tasks that reveal that competencies. Then plan all learning experience to prepare students for those tasks. Assessment-driven instruction, not the reverse. When you know exactly what performance student must achieve, every class session has clear purpose. Learning activities directly prepare students for authentic demonstrations. There is no disconnect between what we teach and what we access. Students see relevance immediately. they are preparing for meaningful performance. This is backward design. Now, performance task-driven instructional design involves three thematic steps. This is backward design for designing instructional plan. Step 1, determine learning experience to prepare students for the performance task. Identify what learning experience students need during the course to successfully complete the performance task. Ask yourself, what must the student learn and practice before they can perform well? And step 2, developing weekly lesson plans, including feedback activities. Create week-by-week instructional plans that incorporate formative feedback opportunities. Step 3, developing necessary materials. Create instructional resources and assessment tools. Required material include lecture note, slide, reading materials and resources, student activity worksheet, rubrics and assessment criteria, practice exercises, feedback forms, self-assessment checklist, examples and models of quality work. Materials support both learning and assessment. This systematic approach ensures students are genuinely prepared to demonstrate competencies, not just tested on them. This diagram illustrates how to organize a course around performance task. The backward design structure is two major performance tasks anchor the course. Performance task 1 and performance task 2. All weekly activities lead toward these demonstrations of competence. Building toward performance task 1, first week 1, activities related to performance task 1. Introduce concept and skills needed. Provide initial instruction and examples. And second week, assessment activity related to performance task 1. Student practice components of the task. Performance assessments check understanding early, feedback, identify learning gaps. Building toward performance task 2, third week 3, activities related to performance task 2 introduce new concept building on task 1, connect to previous learning. And fourth week, assessment activities related to performance task 2, practice and formative checks. Skill become more integrated. Week 5, feedback related to performance task 1. Students receive detailed feedback on their first performance. They reflect on strengths and area for improvement. This informs the approach to performance task 2. This is backward design. The key principle of backward design is as following. 1. First, with the performance task. Then, design each week's activities to prepare students for those tasks. Everything connects purposely to authentic demonstration. Why this structure works? Students know where they are heading from day one. Every activity has clear purpose. It prepares for performance. Feedback comes while students can still improve, not just at the end. Multiple performance tasks show growth over time. Assessment is integrated throughout, not added at the end. This transforms courses from content coverage to competence development. Backward design consists of three stages that work in reverse order from traditional planning. Stage 1, identify desired result. What should the student know, understand, and be able to do? Stage 2, determine acceptable evidence. What performance task will reveal understanding and competency? Stage 3, plan learning experiences and instruction. What knowledge and skill do students need to perform successfully? What sequence of learning activities will build toward the performance task? What resources and materials are needed? How will formative feedback be integrated throughout? This creates the roadmap from where students start to where they need to arrive. Why backward? Traditional design move first forward, content, activity, and then assessment. But backward design reversed this outcomes and gathering evidence and instruction. Start with the end goal. Determine how to assess achievement. Design instruction to achieve those goals. The figurate at the bottom symbolize this. The person walk backward through the design process. You are walking from the destination back to the starting point. It ensures alignment. Everything connects to meaningful outcomes. It prevents teaching to cover content without clear purpose. It makes assessment integral, not a afterthought. It focuses the effort on what truly matters for student competence. Most importantly, it ensures students are prepared for assessment because instruction has designed specifically to build the required competencies. This is the foundation of effective competence-based course design. Now, let's explore how to develop effective rubrics for assessing competencies. Rubrics are essential tools in CBE. A rubric is a scoring guide that describes performance criteria and quality level for each criterion. It makes expectations explicit and assessment consistent. Why rubric matter for competence assessment? First, competencies are complex and multifaceted. And second, simple point totals don't show what students can actually do. Third, rubrics break down complex performance into accessible dimensions. They provide detailed feedback, not just scores. There are three main types of scoring tools, each with different strengths and limitations. Checklist is list requires elements or behavior to look for. Each item is marked present or absent, yes or no. And rating scale shows performance levels using number of descriptors. Example 1, poor, 2, 5, excellent, or unsatisfactory, satisfactory, outstanding, like that. The rubric combines criteria, dimensions of performance with detailed quality level description. Each cell describes specifically what performance will look like at each level for each criterion. Checklist, rating scales, rubrics represent increasing sophistication and feedback quality. Rubrics combine the best features. They show both dimensions of performance and quality level with detailed descriptors. For simple tasks where presence absence matters checklist work. For quickly quality judgment, rating scale surface. For complex competence requiring detailed feedback, rubrics are essential. Rubrics take more time to develop but provide far more value for both assessment and learning. Now, let's see how to create effective rubric. Rubric benefit both students and teachers in distinct but a complementary way. For students, the clarity of expectation and self-assessment support and goal-setting framework, reduced anxiety, and enhanced learning focus. For teachers, there are so many benefits. Consistent grading, time efficiency, objective feedback, formative assessment tool, professional communication. The mutual benefit are as follows. When expectations are transparent, both teaching and learning improve. Students take responsibility for meeting clear standards. Teachers provide consistent, fair, and efficient assessment. The relationship becomes collaborative rather than adversarial. Rubrics established evaluation criteria and describe a performance expectation for each level. The rubric structure has two key components: assessment items, dimensions, listed on the left. These are assessment items that represent performance criteria. They break down the competency into distinct assessable dimensions. And performance achievement level across the top, scale 1, 2, 3, 4, beginning, developing, proficient, elementary, exemplary. And these differentiate quality from lowest to highest performance. Each cell contains specific descriptions, not just good or poor, but concrete descriptions of what performance looks like. We can use generative AI to make rubric develop much easier and faster. Generative AI can accelerate rubric development significantly. Let me show you how. AI prompt example is as follows. You are an experienced blah, 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 blah. And the AI generates a complete rubric table with criteria like key advantages. First, save the time in initial drafting, provides a comprehensive starting point, generate constant professional language. Yeah. But they have critical limitations. All AI rubrics are starting point, not finished products. You must review and adapt them to your context. Ensure alignment with your learning outcomes. Add discipline-specific elements. Best practices, generate initial structure with AI and refine based on your expertise and test with sample work and revise. All AI accelerates development, but your professional judgment remains essential. This slide shows how detailed feedback works in practice. The upper section displays evaluation results, scores or ratings for each assessment criterion. Overall, performance level indicated. The lower section provides specific feedback. The format follows. Based on evaluation criteria, achievement is below target. Here is feedback. Feedback is organized by assessment dimensions. Authenticity, expression, like this, Each feedback point identifies what is lacking or insufficient, how to improve for next time. Specific, actionable guidance, not vague comments. The improvement cycle, students receive this detailed feedback. They understand actually what needs work. They can revise and resubmit based on guidance. This support learning, not just grading. Until students reach target achievement level, provide detailed feedback showing what's lacking and how to improve. This closes the learning loop. Assessment becomes a tool for development, not just measurement. This final slide shows a complete course continuous quality improvement report. Left page contains the course general information and the results of evaluation of achievement of course learning outcomes and the results of course evaluation by students. And right page contains materials evaluation, comprehensive evaluation, analysis and improvement of a result, results on midterm evaluation of your course, interpretation of midterm result, what works, what didn't. Course outcome achievement result, which outcomes were achieved, which fell short. Result on final evaluation of your course and improving plan for the next semester. The final assessment analysis, specific improvement for next offering, concrete action plans. Why this comprehensive CQI matters? It causes the complete feedback loop at the course level. Assessment data drives concrete improvement. Students benefit from evidence-based course enhancement. Faculty document their continuous improvement effort. This systematic approach ensures courses to strengthen over time with this interaction formed by evidence rather than intuition alone. This is the culmination of everything we have discussed: outcomes, assessment, feedback, and improvement working together in a complete system. Yeah, we teach children a subject, John Dewey. As John Dewey reminds us, education is fundamentally about students, not content. Everything we are discussed today, competence-based education, learning outcomes, evaluation, performance tasks, rubrics, and feedbacks, serves one central purpose: putting students at the center of education. Thank you for your attention today. Thank you for engaging with these important ideas. Your commitment to student learning makes all the difference. Thank you so much.